Hey everybody, how's it going? So we're gonna be taking a look at another restaurant here. We are on beautiful, beautiful 17th Street, where you can see Potbelly Sandwich Shop is closed, that salad place is closed, that store that says established 1914 is closed, that place is brown papered over, Beads of Paradise has a gate that is stuck down. Yeah, everything is closed. And if we just take a look, this is being advertised as a restaurant that's 2,000 square feet. Let's take a look on the inside. Yeah, that's actually quite dirty. Yeah, you can barely see the inside. However, I have come prepared. There's a Japanese market down the street. I got myself some sanitizer wipes. I'm gonna open this up. And here's what I'm gonna do for this property owner. Because the amount of rent that they're asking for clearly did not allow them to afford to have clean windows. You know what I'm gonna do? Because I'm such a nice guy. I'm gonna clean your windows. Look at that. I'm gonna get a nice view inside of this place now. These are alcohol free, by the way. Make it nice and clean. Yeah, look at that. Gross. Yeah, let's make this nice and clean here. Alright, what do we got on the inside? The other side of the window is actually so dirty that you still can barely see inside. Hysterical. So, I spent $2.87 to make this video better for nothing. So yeah, you can see they advertise this as 2,000 square feet. My store is actually 2,250 square feet. Which leads me to believe that what you're getting here is approximately 900 to 1,000. Because this looks like it's about as far back as my old store. It looks mildly wider. And my old store was 650. So if I were... Yeah, I honestly don't see how this place is larger than 900 square feet. I would give it that this place is mildly bigger than my old store, which measured 650. So what do you think it costs to rent this place that's about probably 900 square feet that you're not legally allowed to open as a restaurant in New York City? If you had to take any guess. If you had to guess. Before you call that number, because calling that number is cheating. So don't call that number. That is cheating. Because if you were to guess that it's over $42,000, you would be correct. That's right. Not only do they want over 3 times the asking price per square foot of my current space, but they're also completely and utterly fibbing on the size of the space as is. Do keep in mind that they do charge a premium for these spaces to be able to use them as a restaurant, and you're not legally allowed to open this place as a restaurant. So, you know, this is a great time to ask for the 42,000. You know, let's not even try and lower it from like the 200s a square foot to like the 150 or the 120 a square foot. Let's just keep it at 200, because I'm sure someone's going to come by and take it. And one of the things that I'm really expecting to have happen at some point, what I think is going to wind up happening, is all these building owners are going to wind up giving up their property when they don't pay their property tax. They're not going to pay their property tax because the people are not paying rent in the buildings, because they're not willing to lower their prices at all, so why would anybody take this thing? And then the buildings are going to wind up all being owned by random people that wind up just either some people who live in the building or people that take the property for pennies in the dollar of the people that wind up staying in New York City. And at that point, the whole concept of, I suppose, the people owning the means of production concept was, I think, is going to wind up being something that actually happens voluntarily. Not some sort of, you know, of socialist revolution or anything like that with pitchforks taken to the rich people. I just think that they're all going to, like, they're all just going to wind up giving up these properties because they are so stubborn and pig-headed that they refuse to accept anything less than $42,000 for what is smaller than a garage. Let's be real here. In the middle of a pandemic. And I kind of wonder what's going to happen with that when you don't have a city that's entirely empty with all these spaces. You know, I think it's going to be a peaceful transfer, not mostly peaceful, because not mostly peaceful, I mean actually peaceful transfer of these properties to people that would actually do something with them if they don't wind up paying the property tax. Because I think if you ask, like, even if you wanted $5,000 or $10,000 for this dump, I think someone would come along and actually take it and rent it. But when you want $40,000 for this, my Bafang makes less noise than that. When you're asking $40,000 for this, what you're really saying is, I don't actually want someone to rent this place under any circumstance. And I don't know. Maybe I'm being. I haven't thought this through in full, so I'm not quite sure if I'm just coming off like an idiot or whatever. But I'm just making guesses. I'm not exactly sure what it is that's going to happen over the next several years with New York City property. But I remember in the 70s, a lot of property owners were asked to pay certain property taxes on stuff that wasn't really worth it anymore, and they wound up just leaving. And the city, you know, the city said you have to pay, or we're going to take these, or, you know, you're not going to have this building. And they kind of called their bluff and said, all right, cool, you know, here, I don't want this building. And then the people that lived in the building wound up kind of owning the building in this co-op way. And I'm kind of curious if that's going to wind up happening here with a lot of these, except in a much, much larger scale than it did back then. Because as bad as everything was in New York in the 70s and the 80s and the early 90s, you weren't at a point where it was actually illegal to use the place to do business as it is now. And the real estate bubble was not anywhere near where it is now. But yeah, this is what you get for 40,000 bucks a month. Like, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Maybe it'll be cleaner here. Maybe you can get a better view. Yeah, let's clean this shit up a bit. Yeah, that's a joke. Anyway, you let me know what you think.